Good evening. I'd like to call to order our regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, November 19th, 2018 at 7 p.m. Our first order of business is our opening ceremony, which consists of the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for those service members that have given their lives while defending our country. Would everybody please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Clerk Massey, can you take the roll, please?
Mayor Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Jacobs.
Here.
Councilmember Lynch. Here. Councilmember Squires. Here. Councilmember Earl.
Here.
Councilmember McCarge. Here. Councilmember Kerwin. Here.
Okay, moving on to item 4, approval of the agenda as presented.
Mayor,
Councilmember Lynch.
I move for the approval of the agenda for Monday, November 19th, 2018, as presented.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Squires. Any comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes 7-0. Okay, at this time, under recognition, I'm going to bring up the DDA Director, Kim Dole.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to come up and pass out some money today. As everyone is aware, sorry, Jaylee, the chili cook-off, the proceeds from the chili cook-off actually are donated to 4 of our local charities every year. We have the Garden City Goodfellows, the Garden City United Needy Family, our Home Pantry, and the Straight Farmhouse. So we're going to, we've got some huge checks. I don't know why they're this big, but all of them already have their real checks, so. But I wanted to do a presentation and give them all their checks. So without further ado, if we could have Pat Rybeck from our Home Pantry to come up. Now, each charity starts out with the same amount. We divide it by 4. But what we're able to do is the volunteers that come to the chili cook-off, we're able to pay them a certain amount per hour worked, and they designate which charity they would like it to go to. So in addition to these 4, we also have checks that were given to Project Grad for Garden City High School, Autos for Autism, and I believe there was one more, but I'm not positive what it was. There was 1 or 2 that had donated to that. So for our Home Pantry, we are donating $3,265 this year. In front. Okay, and we have Kim Marquette here from the Straight Farmhouse. Too big. So to the Straight Farmhouse, might as well go over there first, I guess. We were able to donate $3,220. Thank you very much. Hey, and United Needy Family, Phil Bacascio. They're getting $3,250. Thanks, Phil. Yes, you have to keep it. I'll call up Jeff Dold for the Garden City Goodfellows. We're donating $3,120. And real quick, and I'll pass them out later, but we have thank you certificates for Mayor Randy Walker for judging our chili.
Thank you.
Also to City Manager Doc Doherty, who has already volunteered to do it again next year.
Free meal anywhere.
We also have one for our Wayne County Commissioner Glenn Anderson, and I will send that with you. For Senator David Kniezek, who's not here tonight, and Police Chief Tim Gibbons. So thank you to all of you, because obviously we can't do a chili cook-off without judges. And one last thing for the chili cook-off, I would really be remiss if I didn't mention this, because I haven't to date, that my son not only made the trophies for the car show Best of Show, but he also made the chili cook-off plaques and donated those. So.
That chili cook-off is a great event. It's getting better each year, and the fact that these many charities benefit, it's just awesome what our city does. So thank you to the DDA and Kim Dold and all the volunteers and all the residents that make the chili cook-off what it is. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call up the Community Resource Director, Monica Fulton.
Hi, thank you, Mayor. A few things going on over at Maplewood and for some of the things in Maplewood. First off, starting this Wednesday through Monday of next week, Five Below in Westland will donate 10% of the purchases made there to our home pantry, so another fundraiser for the pantry. They do ask that the flyer be brought with you to when you make your purchase, and there are flyers available in City Hall and also on the Facebook page for our home pantry. You can print one off. Again, that's this Wednesday through Monday at the Westland Five Below, which is located next door to Bed Bath & Beyond. And then Wednesday, December 5th, Beaumont will be at Maplewood Center to do for an open enrollment fair for the health insurance that's available on the marketplace. So anybody that needs to apply or re-enroll or has had a change of family circumstances, they can help you change your plan. They can help you shop and compare plans on the marketplace and help you choose a plan that fits your budget. So that's Wednesday, December 5th. They'll be there from 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock. It is free, and you can just show up and get some assistance. Sometimes the marketplace can be very confusing, and people are surprised sometimes when they go up in the level of plan that the cost actually comes down because of different tax incentives and things like that. So I encourage anyone who needs health insurance through the marketplace to check that out on December 5th. And the last thing I have is on the next day, December 6th, we will have Operation Hope here at Maplewood. They'll be doing an hour-and-a-half workshop. It's called Spending and Saving During the Holidays, helping people stay on budget, making a budget, tracking your spending during the holidays. They're actually going to have prizes and things like that as well. So if anybody wants help staying on track during this holiday season with their finances, I encourage you to check it out. Again, that's free, December 6th from 6:30 till 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll move on to item 7, comments from state and county officials. I don't see anybody here from the state, but I see Mary McClendon here from Glenn Anderson's office, Wayne County Commissioner.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, the City Manager, the Deputy Treasurer here today, and all the fine citizens of Garden City. I bring you greetings from the office of Wayne County Commissioner Glenn Anderson, and it's always a pleasure to be here in your fine city. I just want to remind you of a few things. I don't have much on the agenda right now because, you know, in December, it's not too much on the table because everybody's in anticipation for the great holidays that are coming up. I want to remind you that the county will be closed between Christmas and the New Year. So be sure that if there's anything that you need to take care of in the county offices, that you go ahead and get that done so that you can have it out before those holidays arrive. So that's just a reminder to you. We will open in January, so don't think we're closed for good. We will open back up. Also, I want to remind you of the Light Fest. Okay, it's the Midwest's longest drive-through light holiday show. And of course, that's at Hines Park, at the entrance of Merriman and Hollow, near the intersections of Hines Drive and Merriman Road. And on Sunday and Saturday is open from 6 until 10. And then it goes through December the 31st. All the other days, it's open from 7 until 10, and it will not be open on Christmas Day. If you're thinking you're going to go through on Christmas Day, it will not be open. So it's just a treat for everybody to go and enjoy. You can enter between Ann Arbor Trail and Warren Road, and it's just a delight for everyone. If you need to take your seniors out on a bus ride there, that would just be great. Any children, it's just very, very beautiful. And I haven't been here in a while, but I know that you do know that the kiosk is at the Dollar Castle store. Okay, the Wayne County tax kiosk is there, and I'm sure you're aware of that at the Dollar Castle there on Ford Road, just near Middlebelt there. And it's a great asset to all of the district number 12, because it's easy for the Garden City people, of course, easy for the Inkster people as well as the Westland people, and everybody's all excited about it. And of course, that store is open from 9 until 9. But always keeping in mind that you have to follow all the rules pursuant to the Wayne County Treasurer's Department when you pay your delinquent taxes. But not only can you pay those taxes there, you can pay your DTE energy bills as well as the DWSD water bills as well. So I'm so happy about that. Everyone in the district are just ecstatic about that, because if you haven't been downtown recently, it is busy, busy, busy. And if you don't have to go downtown, it's just really a treat. And of course, with busy, it's a good thing, because it's a lot of building, a lot of folks downtown, and that is a good thing. Now, there will not be any coffee hours during the month of December, okay? I know in Garden City it's a great thing here, but it will not be any coffee hours during that time. And then the commissioner has to re-stratify what he's going to do and make determinations of what he's going to do in the new year, because as you're aware, he'll have 2 new individuals that he'll have to coordinate with, or may coordinate with, to do coffee hours or whatever else he's going to do. So you will be notified exactly what will happen next year in terms of his communicating with you. But rest assured, you know that he will communicate with you. He likes to hear from you, and he likes to share with you as well. So that's all that I have. It's a pleasure to be here today. And if I don't see you before the holidays, happy holiday to you, and let it be safe for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McClendon. Okay, item 8, petitions and communications. We don't have any. This time, I'm going to open up the public hearing for the prohibition of marijuana establishments in Garden City, except for those permitted under ordinance section 154.165. Anybody wishing to speak on this public hearing, please come to the podium, state your name. There's a 3-minute time limit. It's your opportunity to make a comment or a statement. It's not the time to go back and forth with council members. Anybody wishing to speak on this public hearing? I'll ask one more time. Anybody wishing to speak on the prohibition of marijuana establishments in Garden City? Okay, seeing none, I'll close that out. We'll move on to item 10, the consent agenda.
Mayor?
Councilmember Lynch.
I move for the approval of the consent agenda, items 10A1.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Squires. Any comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes 7-0. Moving on to the action items, B1, ordinance for marijuana establishments.
Mayor,
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to adopt the following ordinance of the City of Garden City, providing for a prohibition upon marijuana establishments within its boundaries, except for those permitted under Garden City Code of Ordinances, Section 154.165.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Lynch. Comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes 7-0. Item 2, contract for a new concrete saw for DPS.
Mayor,
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to award bid for the 26-inch, 37-horsepower, self-propelled concrete saw, including 6 blades, to Evergreen Specialty Services of Comac, New York, in amount not to exceed $17,375. Support.
Support from Councilmember Earl. This will be used in all the road work we plan on doing coming up. Most of it's going to be contracted out, but our DPS will be doing some, and this is going to be paid for out of the Act 51 road fund money, not out of our general fund. Any other comments from the table?
Mayor, I'd just like to say, we have such old items in our DPS shop, and we're trying to get more work in-house and saving more money, so I think the small amount that we spend to get the equipment to help our guys do the work is well worth it.
It also makes them more efficient, too.
Yep.
Any other comments from the table? From the general public? Mr. Bacco.
How come so expensive? So much money? Nothing cheaper?
Yeah, it's paid for out of the road fund.
Huh?
Paying for it out of the road fund money to work on a road so we can fix the streets like you want us to, or the potholes you always talk about.
That was the cheapest bid.
Anybody else? Mr. Molnar. I didn't figure you were.
I'm just glad that somebody was smart enough to get 6 of the saw blades, because I don't know too much about it, but I understand they can be sharpened, but you don't want to have one and have to go in over there and sharpen it. So I'm glad you got at least 6, so that way you can continue rolling.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that passes 7-0. Item 3, behind broadcast spreader for DPS.
Mayor,
Councilmember Squires.
I move to approve the purchase of a Turfco Widespin 1550 tow-behind broadcast top dresser from Spartan Distributors Incorporated of Auburn Hills, Michigan, in the amount of $16,328.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Kerwin. Mr. Doherty, you want to talk on this one a little bit?
Thank you, Mayor. This is one of those pieces of equipment that's going to help us as we invest into our park system in the next year. In spring, not just ball fields, but the parks themselves. It's pretty obvious as you go through our complexes that there's a lot of trip hazards, ant hills over the years, a ball bounces left or right on the field, or just walking through the parks, very uneven land. We're going to be utilizing an aerator where you pull out cores, so kind of like a golf course. You see a lot of holes in the park. What we do with this sand spreader, top dresser, actually fills in those holes with sand, and then actually a little bit of a top coat on the grass line, What happens now is water, nutrients, and air gets into the root system, which really blows up the root system of the grass, so the grass grows thicker. But that little coat of sand on top also, when the first rain comes by, that sand goes to the lowest areas, which as grass grows through, doing this a couple times a year throughout all of our park system, the grass becomes a lot level, much more level, not just for playing ability for the ball fields, but also for our parks themselves. So you're going to see in the next couple of years, as we invest into our parks, real simple maintenance programs that we're going to be installing. You're going to have some beautiful parks throughout the community, so looking forward to that. And this is one of the pieces to get us there.
Thank you. Any other comments from the table?
Mayor.
Councilmember McCarge.
First of all, I'd like to thank the city manager for talking with me for quite a while today about some of the budget, some of the purchases we're making. Because he has convinced me that we're fine with these purchases. Some of these were not really a budgeted item. All of these items that we're getting are needed. I do not question that at all. My concern is we should have at least a minimum of 17% in our fund balance if we didn't have a question mark about 2 firemen positions that are now grant funded. If that goes away, on top of that 17%, we have to have the money to pay for the firemen. So I am going to question any purchase. I'm going to go through the budget, and right now it looks, I didn't have a chance to, what we get, some of the information that we get tells us what percentage we are on the budget. So at this time of year, we should be at what,
25%.
25%. And so we can check as council people where we're sitting, and with some adjustments as like Parks and Rec. Some of our purchases aren't made until spring because that's when those programs start. But my concern is we are making large expenditures for items that we need. There's no question there. But we do need to keep our eye on the ball that we have to keep enough fund balance to cover our firemen. So I'm going to vote for this. I'm going to support it. But I really think we need to be careful what we're doing. Thank you.
In response to Councilwoman, and we talked about this a little bit, we just print out some extra paperwork here. We're at 18%, where at this time of the year we should be at 25%. So we're well under at this point financially, and I believe 41% in fund balance, where I mentioned 17. So we are doing well.
17 plus, I'm sorry.
17 plus, no.
17 plus the
20,
firemen.
at least
Yeah.
20, 25 would be definitely a target.
I don't know, and I think
We're
that's
at
where
40,
we have
yeah.
to have that information.
No, I agree. Absolutely. So we're looking good.
Thank you, though. You really helped.
Any other comments from the table? From the general public? Mr. Bacco.
Whose idea was that?
Mr. Doherty.
His idea.
It was my idea. Sorry.
You're great, ain't you? Well, city go to pot now, we do well. City go to pot.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that passes 7-0. Item 4,
Mayor,
Councilmember Lynch.
I move to approve the purchase of a commercial duty pressure washer system and trailer from West Michigan Power Cleaning Equipment of Norton Shores, Michigan, in the amount of $10,848. Support.
Support from Councilmember Kerwin. Comments from the table? Mr. Doherty, you want to talk on this one?
Yes, Mayor, this is exactly what Councilwoman McCarge was kind of referring to. We talked about this one a little bit also today. This is, it's a pressure wash trailer. What we currently have is about a 25-year-old pressure wash machine that isn't self-sustaining at all. It's just a machine you have to hook up somewhere with a power, with water. This is similar to a unit that I purchased in other places I was working, which is actually on a trailer with a 300-gallon tank of water. Self-sustained, you can go out in the middle of the park, the walking trail, if there's some areas to clean. The back of the rink, the ice rink is really what drew my attention. Currently, any general system you would have, you have to be close enough to a water source. This is a self-contained system. that you can take anywhere to any area of a building and be ready to clean sidewalks and buildings themselves. So this is one of those pieces of equipment that'll be around for decades and much more useful than a machine where you have to find a hookup. So it's kind of a self-contained unit. We can drag anywhere. It also has hot water, not just cold water machine. So it costs a couple dollars more, but again, it's something we will have for a decade, 2 decades at least.
Okay. Any other comments from the table?
Mayor,
Councilmember Earl?
I just want to thank you. I'm very happy with these purchases, and watching the purchases that you're making, like the lights that have the generator, and, you know, they all seem to have more than one purpose, and they're replacing equipment that's 25, 30 years old. So not only is it going to be more efficient, it's going to be cheaper to run, and it's going to save on manpower and wear and tear on the employees running it. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
And part of these last couple pieces that we're buying also was it's going to take time till we get them through the winter time. So for the spring, we'll be ready to go, which was the sanding machine for the ball field. So we won't receive them for another 6 months, give or take, but we'll be ready to go when the season hits.
And I'm going to say this to the residents, too. As far as equipment, when we went through the recession, we didn't spend any money at all. But if we did, police and fire always got, for the nature of their business, for emergencies, they have to have equipment to do their job. And I would say the DPS equipment is really, really weathered and old, and they're way behind on getting caught up to where they should be. So you're seeing a lot of DPS purchases in the last month. It's because they are working with antique, obsolete equipment. Some of the equipment you can't even buy parts for anymore. So we're bringing them up to make them more efficient, easier to do their job, and to take care of the city the way that we want to take care of the city. So again, that's why you're seeing a lot of DPS equipment. I just wanted to bring that to the residents. Any other comments from the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that passes 7-0. Moving on to item 5, a lot split combination.
Mayor,
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to approve the split combination of lots at 32777 Warren, parcel number 35-002-99-0004-005, and 7110 Vinoy, parcel number 35-0002-99-0004-006.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Squires. Comments from the table?
This, Mayor, we're talking about a 6-inch strip, 6 inches by 70 feet. It was actually transferred in 1995, but they did not notify the city of the transfer and the split until now, as they're going through the sale and purchase. So it's, if you use the word housekeeping, it's one of
Yeah.
those of making sure our records are correct. But
Both owners agreed to it. It's
Yes.
the Amanteas and the business behind, the dentist office, I
yeah,
believe,
both
behind.
owners agree, and it's just.
So it's just cleaning up the
paperwork
paperwork.
for us.
Any other comments from the table? General public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. That passes 7-0. Okay, supplemental appropriation.
Mayor?
Councilmember Lynch.
I move to approve the following supplemental appropriation to reassign $25,000 from the DDA miscellaneous revenue account to the DDA promotion account.
Support.
Supported from Councilmember McCarge. Comments from the table? Ms. Dole, do you want to come up and say what it's for? Just to explain it to everybody, since you're the DDA director?
When the DDA budget is done every year, we anticipate collecting sponsor fees and vendor fees for our different events that we have. So what happens is, as we collect those, they get deposited into our miscellaneous revenue account, and in order to pay out, we need to move them into the promotions, from a revenue account to an expense account. So it's just, again, it's just a matter of bookkeeping.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to stay right here.
From anybody else at the table? From the general public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes 7-0. Street solicitation for Garden City Goodfellows.
Mayor,
Councilmember Jacobs.
I move to allow the Garden City Goodfellows, allow their request for permission to conduct street solicitation on November 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The intersections are Ford and Middlebelt, Ford and Merriman, Ford Road and Benoit, and Middlebelt and Warren.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Kerwin. Great cause, no kid without a Christmas. And this is one of the ways they raise funds for that. Any other comments from the table? From the general public? Ms. Dole?
We can always use volunteers. So we've got about 8,000 papers to solicit donations from. So if anybody has a little bit of free time, we will be at the Masonic Lodge on Middlebelt at about 6 a.m. We show up on Friday and Saturday morning, and then if there's papers left, we also conduct sales on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Councilmember Jacobs.
Ms. Stoll, I know we usually get a copy of the waiver and all that other. Insurance and all that, which we didn't get. I'm assuming we have all that?
Yeah, it's been paid for this year. They haven't got the new policy to me yet, but as soon as I get that, I'll send a copy over to Doc if that's what council wishes. But the check's been cashed, so I know everything's in place.
Okay, very good.
And the hold harm list will also follow.
Okay. Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Passes 7-0. At this time, we'll move on to public comments for items that were not on the agenda tonight. There's a 3-minute time limit. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name. Anybody wishing to speak?
Hello, my name is Michael Thomas. I just want to speak about the road tax. That the people that already got the road, they already paid that tax. So why are they having to pay it again now?
Okay, this is a question and answer. To make your comment or statement, we'll answer it under the roundtable.
Oh,
This is your opportunity to make a comment or statement. It's not.
I just want to know why they're being charged twice.
I'm sure the city manager will answer that for you, because I've heard him answer that before. You have any other comments, sir? He'll answer.
No, I just want to know that.
Yeah,
I just want to
okay.
know why.
Sit down. You'll hear it when we speak after. Anybody else wishing under public comments?
Yes, it's me again. I have a couple of things, actually. First off, I want to remind everyone that this Saturday is Shop Small Saturday. I have some additional tote bags up here if anyone would like some. So make sure you get out and you patronize our local businesses. The second thing is immediately following the Santaland Parade, the children will be able to visit with Santa this year at Garden City Cafe. The owner there, Tony, is graciously allowing Santa to set up inside the restaurant, and there'll be cookies and hot chocolate. And on that same wave, we have the tree lighting ceremony Monday, this coming Monday, a week from tonight, and that is at 6 p.m. at the corner Middlebelt and Ford Road, where the big tree is, and we'll have cookies and hot chocolate there, too. So some caroling, and Santa will be joining us that night also. So try to come up and join us to do that. And last but not least, Tony from Garden City Cafe wanted me to send his apologies that he couldn't be here tonight. He's a little bit busy cooking. So he wanted to remind everyone that tomorrow from 5 to 9 at Garden City Cafe, he's having a Thanksgiving dinner, and it's for donations. The donations will, the proceeds will go to local charities here. And he also wanted to mention that Crazy Bob Squires helped him start this a few years ago, and that he is going to be dearly missed this year. I think that's all of our sentiments, so thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else under public comments? Mr. Jones.
and Michael Jones, Donnelly and Garden City. Just like to offer some kudos to Lori and Sports Venue for their annual Thanksgiving dinners that they provide for seniors in Garden City and Westland. I had over 80 turkeys donated for this event. All the people that worked it were volunteers, and a special thanks goes out to Vic Barrow at Wayne Westland Civic League, who donated the last 12 turkeys to put them over the hump for the ones they needed. And finally, comment to the city manager in terms of philosophy for this weekend: go blue.
Amen.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. My microphone was off.
I'll repeat it. Go blue. Anybody else? Mr. York? That sure is an ugly sweater you have.
This is the first time in 35 years I've ever spoken under public comment. I just wanted to let everybody know who already knows, but people watching on television, on the internet, the 58th annual Downtown Garden City Santaland Parade, the Garden City DDA Santaland Parade, is this Saturday, beginning at 10 o'clock, and the theme is an ugly sweater Christmas. Starts at the high school at 10 o'clock, goes south on Middlebelt, turns east on Ford, and goes to Central, and then we'll finish at Garden City Cafe, I guess, with Santa Claus and hot chocolate, everything like that. We have two performance areas, we'll call them, this year. There's one right here in front of City Hall where we do the television broadcast from. And then there's another one that will be in front of the DDA offices on Ford Road. All of the bands will perform there. There'll be music there. They'll have some giveaways, some other stuff. So it's two different places to go and gather and watch the parade along with all the other places along the route. And Santa Claus will get the key to the city from the mayor twice, once on TV and again at the end there in front of the Downtown Development Authority office. We have over 100 entries, which is, we assume, the most ever. It's the most since this group of people has been involved with it. The Grand Marshals are Elise Made, the mayor's favorite, who is Miss Michigan USA and is a Garden City resident. Carly Young, who is the American Legion Teacher of the Year, also from Garden City, and Michael Pack, who is the star of the movie 22, is also a Garden City resident, and he will be one of the Grand Marshals for the parade. We have a lot of sponsors. We were able to raise a lot of money this year. We specifically want to call out the Garden City Downtown Development Authority as the title sponsor for this year. The Bocelli Group and the DTE Energy Foundation all made very large donations, and there were a lot of other donations of $100 and $250 and $500. But we wanted to call out those folks. The Santaland Parade Committee, I just wanted to recognize them. Pat Squires. Did I steal your thunder by doing this, by the way? Did I take away your other business stuff?
No.
Okay, good. She's one of the members of the Parade Committee, along with Kevin Kramus, Monica Fulton, Rob Cox, Zach King, and Mark Randazzo. Those are the 7 volunteers, along with myself, that helped put the Parade Committee on. Those that remember, it was the JCs did the parade for, I don't know, 45 years or something like that, and the JCs were a little dormant in Garden City for a while, so the American Legion Riders picked it up, and eventually we formed a committee of the Santaland Parade Committee. Again, like everything else we do, it's all live, either on cable, on Comcast 12, WOW 18, or UVerse 99, or it'll be live on Facebook and on YouTube if everything goes well. And that's in high def. The rest of it, the cable is in stunning standard definition, but if you want to see it in high definition, it's on YouTube and on Facebook.
Thank you, sir. And the theme again is?
Ugly sweater.
Thank you. Anybody else under public comments?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Garden City. I just first want to say hello on behalf of State Representative Jewel Jones. We want to wish you all and your families a happy holiday, as well as I want to stress to you to make sure that you all take care of each other, stay warm, make sure you eat good on Thursday, and be safe. We appreciate you guys greatly, and have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and folks of Garden City. My name is Oscar Arbulu, and I'm here just to quickly say that I represent your Congresswoman-elect Rashida Tlaib in the 13th District, so if you have any questions or concerns, I will be coming to these meetings frequently, okay? And that's it. Happy holidays, folks.
Thank you. Anybody else? City managers report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I know the mention was earlier about an ugly sweater, and I see what Mike Jones is wearing in the back of the room. Go Irish. All right, so the question about the road tax. Apparently, in the past, citizens were charged $27 a foot for their home. So if they had a frontage of 100 feet, they were charged $2,700 for the road that was put in front of their home. No one's quite sure where the number $27 comes from, because it probably should be more in the $270 to $300 a foot. So if a road cost $800 to $1 million, there was no recouping it at $2,700 per house, because there's only so many houses. If there's 100 homes, 50 to 100 homes, you're only looking at 100,000, 200,000. The road costs $1 million. So although there was some type of tax, as mentioned, the $27, it was far from anything that could actually cover the cost of the road, which means everybody in the community was supplementing the difference in that road. They just weren't getting any road. Here, what we're doing in the bond issue is roads throughout the city. Everybody's going to pay into these roads, and we've heard this before as the question was a valid question. I paid for my road. Why am I paying for other people's roads? Truly, you didn't fully pay for your road or anyone else that has a road. They paid a portion into it, but the rest of the community helped pay for their road at the same time. So it's kind of, it's a team sport, without a doubt, this entire bond issue for roads. Everybody's in. The hope is that, of course, the road that might have been paid for by somebody a few years ago at that $1,500, $2,000, whatever they may have put into the roads around them weren't being done at all. Now with the new road millage that we've done, hopefully a lot more roads are going to be done around that person or that home. So overall, the community dresses themselves up. Quality of life is going to go up. Property values can go up. And even at the $230 that we talked about per year for 5 years, you're looking at just over $1,000 for the 5 years. But certainly if you're looking to one day sell a home, that property value is going to be way past $1,000. If you're looking to stay in the community forever, as many residents do, your quality of life is going to be a whole lot better on the roads you're driving to your house, are going to be in better condition. So we're not charging any new homeowner or new roads to anybody at this point. The $27 stopped. Hubbard and James and Craig that are being worked on now, they're not being charged $27 a foot, those homes, because of the fact that the bond has passed. It does go back to the people a year or two ago that did pay their $27 for a new road. What do we do in that situation? Well, for the new bond, everybody has to pay the same. But if you look at it as they did pay something into it, but they didn't pay 100%, it may balance itself out in the end. But fortunately, they've probably had a good road for the last few years where everyone else has had pretty bad roads. So does that answer your question a little bit, at least the $27? Well, you'd receive a bill for $40,000, $50,000 potentially instead of $2,000 if you're paying for your full road yourself. It's per your house millage, but it's in the range, I believe, 223? At this 223 per home? Yeah, per year for 5 years, yes.
See, they already paid that.
They paid
They paid that much.
the $27 per foot for the road. They didn't,
I don't know what the foot value is.
yeah. Yeah, because the
You just told me.
Sir, come up to the podium when you speak so everybody can hear you.
I think the difference is the 230, which is $1,000 per home for 5 years. That's split between 27,000 residents. You're saying that?
The ones that already got their roads,
Yes,
they already paid $2,000 for that.
yeah, for their
Now
road.
they're going to pay
And the community,
$230 a foot?
yeah, and the
To do it
community
again?
paid the difference for your road.
No. The assessments went away. Nobody's paying assessments anymore. The residents voted for this bond issue over the next 5 years to borrow $15 million. We're going to spend $3 million a year for the next 5 years to fix the roads, and that's the money that's going to fix the road. Nobody's getting assessed anymore. It's a new system. Assessments are gone. The old way, if you had a 50-foot frontage, you paid 27 times 50. Okay, and that was just paying for a portion of the road. That's gone out the window. Nobody's getting assessed anymore. We are fixing the roads with bond money that the residents voted on, said that they wanted to pass this road millage. So there's no more assessments.
And how is it being made, what everybody pays? It's not assessments.
Your
what is
taxes
it?
are going to go up. How much per house, roughly?
It's 223, I believe.
$223 a year for the next 5 years. Everybody's paying that.
So I don't understand why them people have to pay it twice. You haven't answered that question.
They didn't pay 100% of their road, so everybody's paying for
No,
every...
I understand
There's a
that.
number,
I
just so you
understand
know,
that.
there are 100 miles of roads in this community. About 80% of them probably need help, which is about $80 million.
I understand that.
Yeah, so
I'm
we
in
only
favor
have
of getting
50
the roads fixed.
No.
I'm just not in favor of,
Well, we only have $15 million, which means there's a lot of residents who are paying for a road that is not going to be brand new in front of their house for anything.
but is anybody else paying twice?
Yeah, everyone that's paid over the last 10 years has paid the $27 per foot, which we're not quite sure what that number came from because it's not the cost of the road. So the rest of the citizens were paying into that road that you may have and others have. Now, you're asking to pay back to other people's roads too. So in the end, it balances itself out. It's not, I paid for my road and I don't care about the neighbor. They paid for your road also because you paid $2,000, $1,500. You didn't pay $30,000.
No, but where did that, when you said they assessed,
27.
they've been assessed for 10 years now. Is that what you just said?
No. The roads that have been built over the last 10 years, there was some type of assessment, I assume.
Probably 20 years.
20 years?
Sir, it's no difference. If your kids are grown and gone, and you and your wife don't have any kids at your house, and they pass a school millage, just like coming up here and saying, why should I pay this school millage? My kids aren't in school no more.
No, it's not. That's totally
No,
different.
it's a whole city pays for the roads. You drive on more than just your street. You drive on other streets, and we want to fix our streets. The residents were fed up. They voted to pass this bond millage, and we spread it out on the taxes. We have 11,500 homes roughly and 700 businesses, and everybody's going to pay $223 a year for the next 5 years, and that money is what's going to fix the roads. Nobody's getting assessed anymore.
But they're still paying it twice.
Well, you can look at it that
Well,
way,
there's
sir.
a number of residents that aren't getting a road at all, and they're paying for it.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. It's a team sport, unfortunately. So everybody's in.
There's no perfect fix, sir. There's no.
Well, the perfect fix would be for those people that already paid the tax, they don't have to pay the new one.
Well, except they would have.
That's a perfect answer.
But then that means that all the residents that paid for that road should get their money back from those homeowners, which now you're at 30 homeowners paying $1 million for a road. It's impossible.
If your road costs $800,000 or $1 million and you only paid.
Were those people told that when they got the road?
Told
what? No,
The
not back.
people that got the road, new roads already, when they were told that they were going to pay that assessment for it, were they told then that that wasn't going to be enough, that they were going to have
Yes.
to pay more?
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a portion.
Yeah.
It's never been the whole amount. So that's like me saying, well, your road got fixed, and you guys only paid 5% of the whole the project, so, and the rest of the residents paid the rest, so I want my money back for fixing your road. I don't even live on your street. I mean, it's the same concept.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm just
everybody
saying
else
that
helped
they're
pay
paying
for
it
your
twice,
roads.
Period.
Well,
That's not fair. Why should a couple streets pay it twice and everybody else pays it once?
you're looking at it different than everybody else is looking at it.
I'm looking at it different than you guys, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, because
Yeah.
everybody I've talked to just said that's not fair.
Well,
It's not fair that some people pay it twice.
Can I throw in?
go ahead.
I've helped pay for all those streets. My road has never been done. So my tax money has gone towards your street and others. And my new millage money is going to go for all of these other fixes too. And as of right now, I don't even know that my street's going to be fixed. So that means over the past 20 years, I've been a donator to help your road get fixed and other people
That's what I
get
just asked,
fixed.
and you told me it wasn't. When you said earlier that they've been
She's
assessing
saying
taxes for roads for 10 years.
Every road over the last 10 or 20 years that has been built like yours, she has paid towards it and hasn't gotten a new road herself. She's not saying payments over 10 years.
No.
10 years worth of roads being done. So every year about one road was being done. All right, so other points, Maplewood parking lot is just about complete at this point. Thanks everybody for their patience dealing with that parking lot over there. The problem we have now is the weather. So the roads that we expected to be done in the last couple of weeks, Hubbard, James, and Cambridge, may be held off now until the spring. It's got a solid base, asphalt base now, but it's got to be 40 to 50 degrees to lay the asphalt, and as you could tell, and my kids enjoyed the snow, it's not quite creeping up to that point, and it can't be just for a few hours. It's got to be for a little time. So at this point, similar to apparently what happened years ago down at the ice rink, The base made it through the winter, and then a new coat's going to come on in the spring along with the other projects. So that shouldn't be an issue at this point. It is definitely a drivable road. Update for the design, we're still looking at December, beginning of December, first week of December, of putting out the bids for the roads that we're going to be working on throughout the spring and summer. We're going to have a much bigger jump ahead this time in April as opposed to apparently in the past waiting until later in the year. So we should be fine with our roads. That'll be worked on, about up to $5 million worth of construction this spring and summer. DTE, I met with them a second time, a different group of DTE. Last meeting, I believe I mentioned about 80% of our outages are from tree branches. So if we can trim trees, residents can trim trees around some areas that are growing. Don't put trees near lines. We can cut down 80% of our outages. The question came up in the past was LED of replacement. In the past, there was a grant where it was, I believe, free, changing out the LED. That's not existent at this point anymore. I saw a number of changing out the entire city system from LED for a big savings. I asked if they could break it down by some quarters. Maybe over the next few years we can have some changes out to our utilities, light bills, including right now I've directed them to change. There's 39 lights that we have in our community, 39 light bulbs that are high pressure sodium and mercury vapor lights. All right, so only 39, doesn't sound like a lot, but they're our worst guzzler. They're $9,000 a year we spend for these 39 lights. After we change the LED, we'll save about $3,500 a year. So these 39 lights, just 39 individual light bulbs, cost us $9,000. Once it's changed over, it's going to cost us $5,500. It's going to take 1.5 years to pay back, though. So we're going to still pay the regular bill for 1.5 years, but after that, we'll be saving $3,500 just on 39 lights, because they are the worst that you can have anywhere in the city. So that we're changing out now because that just makes sense, common sense. The other part will be in the budget. We're hoping to bring to the council through the spring budget meetings of maybe a quarter of the city being finished off. So over a period of 4 years, we'll save somewhere about $80,000 to $100,000 overall with our changing out all the light bills, or light bulbs, to go to LED across the board. So Manor Park is also, I'm waiting for a response on what the cost would be. As a gentleman came to the microphone discussing, Manor Park doesn't have lights. It's right next to a soccer field. Should have lights at this point, so we're just waiting to see what the cost is going to be for that. But it looks like things will be moving here on DTE to lower our cost overall, lower our bills, and move to the future with the LED lighting throughout our system. So that's it for now.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember McCarge?
Just one question with the sidewalk program, with this cold weather, that probably will be putting a hold on that.
I will find out. They may have gotten close to finishing it off at this point, but let me find out where they are at this point.
You know, we can't control the weather, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would really like to thank everyone who participated in the chili cook-off. I hope they all hear how much was donated, excuse me, to the groups that really it does help them so much. Kim Marquette, who was up here, she has done an absolutely marvelous job at the museum, the Historical Museum, unpaid. She goes in there and does them, puts everything together. It's just amazing. There's just a small stipend for the Historical Commission. Other than that, everything is from donations. And also, just to let you know, the Straight Farmhouse has a room that you can rent. And very nice room, and with a kitchen facility, and that also helps them keep the doors open and the exhibits up to date. But I really, kudos to Kim Marquette and the volunteers at the Historical Museum. Goodfellows, my check's in the mail. That's another way you can send a check to the Garden City Goodfellows. Some of us got, I think, things in the mail, but I would assume this weekend you can put your check into the. Okay, checks, cash, everything but the firstborn. Okay, but it's a marvelous thing, and I've had a chance to to deliver some of these packages, and the families are so thankful. So anyway, thank you for the good fellows. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Kerwin?
I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and if you shop this weekend, shop small and shop local. That's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Lynch?
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and see you at the parade on Saturday.
Okay. Councilmember Jacobs?
Just a couple things, and piggyback on some other commenters. Garden City Cafe does this turkey dinner. I don't know, for a while they've done it, and it's great. The venue, Lori and her staff over there, they volunteer. I know last year they put out 340 dinners to seniors at the towers. They delivered seniors that come in, Wayne Westland they help out at, and it's all volunteers doing it. Her staff does it for free. Lori herself cooked 35 turkeys in the last 3 or 4 days. I stopped in there earlier. It was half full with people, and they'd been going for a couple hours already. And they have the Garden City Gladiators, GCYA baseball team that helps wait tables and help the seniors out with that. It's just a wonderful event that both restaurants put on and bars, and you know it's awesome what our community does. They do a fantastic job. Other than that, see everybody at the parade. I don't know if everybody will have a sweater as ugly as Mr. York's, but I'm sure the mayor may try. Other than that, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Squires?
Just a couple of things. The Maplewood Senior Center Thrift Shop is looking for volunteers. They're looking for seniors at least 55 years of age who would be interested in being a volunteer at the thrift shop. The thrift shop hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you're interested, please stop by Maplewood Center to fill out an application, or you can go online to www.gardencitymi.org. Or if you have questions, you can call 734-793-1870. And also, Maplewood Senior Center is having a Christmas party on Friday, December 21st, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Maplewood Community Center Community Room. They're going to be catered by Choice Catering. The entertainment will be the Waco Band. They'll have a 50-50 drawing, basket raffles, and an ugly sweater contest. Tickets are $12, and they have already gone on sale as of November 13th. So get your tickets before they run out. And lastly, the Maplewood Senior Center Thrift Shop and Garden City Theater present Senior Movie Night on Friday, December 7th, 2018 at 6 p.m. The movie will be Irving Berlin's White Christmas. It's free for seniors ages 50 and above and their families. There'll be free popcorn and a bottle of water for those who register in advance. Drop-ins are subject to availability. There'll be snacks and beverages available for a donation, a 50-50 drawing, and all proceeds will help fund the next movie night. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Earl?
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, I love the Shop Small program. The Friday after Thanksgiving, I usually hide in my house because I don't even want to drive down the street. But this Friday, I will be going out and shopping, doing some shopping locally to support the businesses. I think it's a great program. For a public safety notice, Wednesday night is typically a very big night for people going to the bar. It's usually people come back into town, they go to the bar. Please be careful. Remember, there's Lyft and Uber and a myriad of other ways to get home safely. There's no reason to get behind the wheel. You don't want your turkey dinner in jail. So please be careful. And I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, a safe weekend, and we'll see you at the parade.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Massey, you have anything for us?
No, not tonight.
Okay. I, too, want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank everybody that showed up for Veterans Day ceremony last week. It was a great ceremony, and I want to thank all the volunteers that helped and everybody that came show respect to our veterans. Also, make sure you come to the 58th Annual Parade this Saturday, and then the tree lighting at the corner of Ford and Middle Belt on Monday. That's all I have. No further business. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you. Did that make sense what I said about the school?
Yeah, it did.
It's the same thing.
You didn't get it.
It's like saying-